What is that? Oh man. Hey guys and gals, I'm Chuck and welcome back to HawksDIY. Well, I finally got the LP style guitar kit. Was delivered yesterday. So we're ready to get started. And so today in this video we're going to do an unboxing. We're going to make sure all the parts are there, everything looks good before we get started on the project. And then I'm going to go over the budget and also kind of give you a rundown of my expectations and what I plan on doing with the guitar. So I guess let's get going. Well, ladies and gents, I'm pretty excited about getting this thing out. I've been wanting to build a guitar for a long time, but it looks like they've got it taped up really good, and this looks like it's sitting in a styrofoam, and it's got a styrofoam top and a bottom. So we'll have to carefully cut along the seam, and then we'll be able to open this dude up. So I guess that's what we're gonna get going. And I'll provide a link for this kit in the description down below so you can check it out. But I'm really looking forward to this. Now I cut that way off. Figures. But this kit runs, I think, around $270, I think. So we'll get the perimeter here cut, and then we should be able to pop this up off of here and see the goods at that point. But this is supposed to have a flame maple top, and I'll go over all the particulars on it too. I may pull up the web page and just go over it with you. That's probably the best thing to do. Boy, this thing is just not. I don't want to break it, you know what I mean? I want to keep my pieces here. Yeah, this end here, I'm having trouble getting it to come up. There it goes. I don't think I got it cut very good there. There we go. So yeah, we'll just have to a little bit of guys. Let me get this kind of situated a little better. Could probably get this out of the way actually. There she is, guys. Wow. All right. Before I pull one piece out at a time, let me let you come in and take a closer look at it. That way you can see how everything's packaged. All right, guys. So this is what she looks like once you first get her opened here. And it's packed really good. They did a really, really good job packing this thing. But obviously you got your neck, and then you got your body. And this is, I think this is an extra cord they get, or a cable they give you. It's an Allen wrench. And then over here is all of the hardware, strings, all of it. So, the plates. So I'm going to have to go through all of this stuff. Make sure everything is here that I'm going to need. And look everything over. But let me put you back up on the stand, and I'll pull the neck and the body out, and then I'll bring you in a little closer to that. Alright, guys, gals, let's start with the guitar neck. Let's see what she looks like first. You can already just tell looking at it. It's pretty sharp. Oh yeah, it's got its own little... Wow. It's got its own little pouch. Foam pouch. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Here, hold on a second, guys. So that's the neck, guys. Doesn't that look awesome? Wow. So I'm going to look it over real good. Boy, I really like the graining of that. This is mahogany. And there it's on the bottom there, it's got Guitar Kit World. And it looks awesome. It's really, man, I don't think I'm going to have to even sand that. It's so smooth. I might do a light sand with maybe some 1500 grit. But that's about it. But anyway, there she is, guys. Pretty awesome, huh? So that's the neck. So now let's pull out the body and see what she looks like. And I imagine it's got its own pouch too, it looks like. Yep. So I need to get it from this end. See what we got. Oh wow, look at that. Well, it looks good. However, there is one spot right here that I'm not crazy about. Maybe I can do something with that. That's why you inspect these, guys. But other than that, it looks really awesome. Okay, here's the back, and I can see that I'll have to use some grain filler, and I got some grain filler coming. There's a couple little spots there. So that's the body, guys. So let me bring you in a little closer, I'll show you this one spot that I'm not crazy about. I don't know what I'm going to have to do with that. I think I could fix it though, cosmetically. I could fix that. But anyway, let me bring you in a little closer. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Yeah, it's got a flame maple top on it. And I inspected it really good. And man, it's really, I don't even think I'm going to need to sand it at all, to be honest. But I'll thoroughly inspect it, especially for any kind of blemishes or any kind of scratches or dents in the surface. You want to get rid of those because you don't want that, you know, once you put a finish coat on it, it'll just pop out. It'll be obvious. But the one blemish that I seen is covered up actually by the necks. As you can see, I already put the neck on just to check to make sure, because this is a set through neck, I'm going to have to glue it. So I just wanted to make sure it fit good, and it does. And it covers that blemish. The blemish I was talking about earlier is underneath the neck here where this binding is, and it comes to a stop. That part there is kind of messed up. Maybe later on in the video I'll show you that. But, you know, it's got, there's the input jack right there. And then this is the binding. It's got binding here. You can see it all the way around. But it's just beautiful. And so I'm really excited. Let's look at the headstock. Let me show you that real close. It's just a beautiful, beautiful guitar. And I believe that's an ebony fretboard, but we'll look at all that, make sure. I want to show you what all the specs are on it. But right now I'm going to go ahead and try to inspect all the parts here, make sure I've got everything. This ended up being the pick guard and the cover plates. You got one for the switch, and then you've got, and that goes on the back, and then you got the back plate for the electronics, and then this is the pick guard here. So that's what's there in that bag. So anyway, let me go through all these parts. I'll lay them out and I'll show you what all comes in the kit. Alright, fellers and fellas, I got all the parts laid out here, and I guess we'll start at the bottom here. This is your bridge and tailpiece, and all the hardware you need for that. Here's the strings, and then the strap holders. There's the pickups. Overall, this stuff over here is all the covers. You got one for the switch, the electronics, where all the potentiometers are going to be. Then you got the pick guard and the bracket for it, all the screws. Here is the front cover for the switch and the cover for the truss rod. Here's the tuners and all the hardware. Here's the knobs. And then electronics, which I probably won't use any of this stuff. Maybe the switch, but the potentiometers I probably won't use. And then the jack here, input jack. So everything appears to be here, which is good. So let's jump on the computer, and then I'll show you the listing. I'll give you the specs on the guitar, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, let's take a look at this LP style guitar kit with quilted maple veneer and chrome hardware. So it's $269.99 for the kit. They're saying that the build skill level is a 6 to 10 intermediate. And so let's look at the specs. So obviously the hand orientation is right-handed. Headstock shape styled, headstock binding, multiply, body type, solid, body material, mahogany, 2 to 3 pieces, neck material is mahogany. I was right, the fretboard is ebony. It's a set-in neck, C-shape, neck shape. Just says black nut. I assume that it's hopefully graphite. I think it's graphite. Then quilted maple veneer. The bindings are multiply. Fretboard inlays trapezoid white pearl. Hardware set is chrome. Tune-o-matic with stop bar tailpiece. 2 humbuckers. Black pick guard. Black cavity covers. 22 frets. And the scale length is 24 3/4 inches. Electronics, 2 volume, 2 tone, 3-way toggle. So there you have it, guys. There's the specs. So one thing I know for sure that I'm going to do on this build, and I'll pull it up here, is I'm going to put in the bridge position, I'm going to put a Seymour Duncan SH4JB model humbucker pickup, and that's for the bridge position. So that was the plan, to do that. And then when you're looking at the build project, so far this is what we've been had to spend so far. So the kit, I told you, is $270, and then I'm going to use True Oil gun stock finish, and so that's going to be, now this is all what I budgeted, but $27 for that, and then the glue $8. Sandpaper, I haven't gotten that yet. The dyes are at $53. I'm going to use Angelus leather dyes, and the main color is going to be oxblood. And then the headstock, it will be black. And then good fill, a heavy duty wood filler, $30. And then the JB model humbucker, $109. So that's what I have so far, and we're at $497. So anyway, that's the specs and kind of the budget where I'm at right now. And then I'm just gonna continue this sheet here and make sure that I keep track of everything that I add on to the guitar, because I think I'm gonna probably replace the tuners and things like that. So anyway, that's where we're at on that. Hey you, if you like this content, please like and subscribe. Doesn't cost anything, it's free, and it really helps out the channel. Also click the notification bell for channel updates, that way you'll be updated when I release a new video. Also guys, if you're interested in supporting HawksDIY, the best way to do so is to go to my Hawks Treasures eBay store, and there I've got t-shirts out there, I've got all kinds of stuff, media, you name it. I'm an everything seller, so you can go out there, possibly find something you might want. So this is the best way to support the channel right now, and would be greatly appreciated. Well, it's the next day, and I got a few things done yesterday towards the end of the day, but here's where we're at on the project. So I set the neck in place, and I've went ahead and I measured off to verify the scale length on the guitar. So it is indeed 24 3/4 inches. And everything looks good with that. So we're ready to glue this neck in. And I've got my clamps over here. I'll have to get the glue out. But we're ready to do that. Now there was a few things I had to do. These cover plates for the back of the guitar, one's for the electronics cavity, and then the other is for the switch. They didn't fit, so I had to work on that yesterday for a while. Let me pull this out, and I'll show you this real quick. I'll have to pull the neck off. Okay. Alright, let's turn this dude over, and I'll show you what I had to do. I forgot about the bridge. So basically I had to take out a little bit of wood to get this thing to fit in here like it's supposed to. Kind of a pain in the butt. But anyway, it sits flush now, and so does the switch. So I'm just going to go through, make sure everything is fitting properly. That way I get all of that done before I start doing this guitar finish. But the main thing we're going to do today is get this neck glued in place. That way it'll be a good 24 or 48 hours that the neck can set in place before I even start on the guitar finish. So that'll work out great. So let's get started on that. Alright guys and gals, we're ready to get this neck glued on. But first I thought I'd mention that I used my Music Nomad tri-beam, and this is a 24 3/4 inch scale length neck. So I just set it on there to make sure that the neck was level, wasn't warped or backbowed, and adjusted the truss rod so that the neck is level. And that's kind of a pre-adjustment. Once you get the strings on there, you can get it dialed in perfectly. So right now I got some blocks laid out here, and we're going to be able to get this glued on here. And I kind of made these up. I took some old boat carpet, and I just glued it. I used the Titebond 3 Ultimate Wood Glue, which this is what we'll be using to glue the neck on. But I just used some of that and glued that on there, and that way it's got a good soft surface, you know, for the pressure, because we're going to be using clamps. So anyway, right now what we got to do is we got to get the glue in. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, first of all, I'm going to make sure that there's no debris in here. Just take your brush, just kind of make sure everything's freed up. Do the same with your neck. And then once you get that done, then we're ready to apply the glue. So I'm using Titebond 3 Ultimate Wood Glue, and it's waterproof exterior and interior. So I'm just going to apply some in the cavity here. And then I'm going to take this brush and spread it. And just make sure and spread it evenly. And you don't need too much, just enough to coat the bottom. And we're just doing the bottom here. And I'm going to leave a little room in the back because I don't want it to go oozing out. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing here to the bottom side on the neck. And you got to work pretty fast because this glue dries pretty quick. So, got to get going. So I'm kind of staying away from the side because I don't put any on the sides because it'll affect the tone, the resonance. Okay, I think we're good to go. So let's get that down, set down in there. I think I got plenty. This looks a little thin here. I just want to make sure you only do this one time, you know. Just want to make sure it gets a good bond. All right, I think we're good there. I'm good with that. So let's get this down in here, and you start with the front first, the heel, and then slide it down into place. Make sure it's pushed all the way forward, and it is. All right, now let's get the clamps on it. And I'm going to start with this one. And we're going to have to and you don't have to go hunkering down too hard. Now I got another block here that I'm going to set inside of that front pickup cavity. And then that's where we're going to put the other clamp. Just like that. And so we should be good to go. She's in place, guys. So just make sure it's not rubbing on the edge there too. Let's see it. This one I'm gonna have to get it positioned a little bit better. There we go. That'll be better. I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. I don't know, something ain't right with this. Oh, I see what's going on. I see what's going on. Adjust this down a little bit. Now we're cooking with gas. This isn't easy, fellers, to get it in the right positions. There we go. Alright, so that one's tight. Alright guys, that'll do it. So we're going to let that dry for probably about 48 hours, because by the time I get all the rest of the stuff, it's going to be about 48 hours. So anyway, cool, awesome. All right, guys and gals, I guess that's going to be a wrap. That's about all far we can go for right now anyway. Until I get the leather dyes and the wood grain filler, we're kind of at a standstill. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. There's going to be several videos on this build, so be looking out for them, and appreciate you coming along with me. I'm going to go out here and check this bird feeder. Boy, it's kind of windy today. It's nice though. But I hope you've been enjoying the bird videos too. Pretty cool. Looks like I need to get some feed put in there. So anyway, I guess we'll see you next week. Hopefully we can get started on the guitar finish and things will start coming together pretty quickly. So we'll see you then.